Countdown to the end of another year, the number of foreclosures for homes is on the rise again. Many struggling homeowners have been able to save their homes with help from the attorneys at Advantage Legal Group and Washington State's little-known Foreclosure Fairness Act, which is very important. Please welcome back attorney and founder of Advantage Legal Group, Jonathan Smith. Welcome back. So let's talk about why the numbers are up again for foreclosures when the economy in general is doing better.
Well, they're up again nationwide, and they're up again here as well. I suspect that there has been a shadow backlog of homes that our banks are trying to get rid of at this point and get them moved. Otherwise, I don't really know why, but there's still hundreds, if not thousands, of people in Washington State who are struggling to keep their homes and get a modification. One of the things that's important to remember is there are so many different programs they could qualify under. There's the HAMP Tier 1, there's the HAMP Tier 2, there's the HAMP Standard, there are FHA modifications, there are VA modifications, there's non-GSE modifications. They have modifications that mirror HAMP, they have internals, there are the National Settlement Act from 2012, there's the Washington State settlement with the pick-a payment programs. There are Department of Justice federal lawsuits against the banks for their continual failure to adhere to the prior settlements, that some of which have settled, especially with B of A last year, that give them other options to qualify for other types of modifications. The problem is the banks, generally speaking, A, won't tell you about them, and B, you know, they don't consider you for them. So you have to know where your loan actually stands, because most people don't realize that the bank to whom they make their payment likely does not actually own the loan. They're just the servicer of the loan, whether it's Bank of America, Wells Fargo, Nation Star.
They've sold it to somebody else.
They sold it a long time ago. They don't actually own it. So it depends on where that loan is owned, which determines which programs you may be eligible for. And it's critical to knowing how to package your situation up to fit under which of the various options are there.
Now, the good news is there are options. The Washington State Foreclosure Fairness Act is something, again, we want people to know about, because this law allows, with a housing counselor or a lawyer, to really effectively move your case forward. Can you explain for us again what that does?
Yeah, the Washington State Foreclosure Fairness Act gives us a way to stop the foreclosure process. It stays stopped throughout the whole process, which is often 6 to 9 months, if not longer. So it gives us a lot of breathing room. It also provides us a way to find out who actually owns the loan, and then structure a package to be put in under the mediation program that qualifies under which of the silos that you might qualify for to get you the best possible loan. Otherwise, you're just shooting in the dark. You can't do this yourself. You have to do it through a housing counselor or an attorney, because the program just isn't set up that way. It provides for face-to-face mediation sessions in the county in which you live. And again, it's overseen by the Washington State Department of Commerce, which looks at this program and is continuing.
And it can get you out of the muck, you know, instead of just going around in circles. So let's talk about some of the cases that you've worked on. The first one is with Nation Star.
Yeah, well, past performance is not necessarily indicative of future results, so I brought 4 that are varied in this case. The first one is a Nation Star loan. The original payment was $2,173 a month. We got him a new payment of $1,417 a month, which was a reduction of $755.85, or 34.74%. Their original interest rate was 8.5, and we got them into a 2% fix. They were 25 months behind on their mortgage when we got this. Okay.
So they got caught up and they got into a 40-year fixed rate,
correct.
Right?
So yeah, that's the typical one I brought on the show, but I wanted to illustrate that there are other silos under which people are falling. Sometimes, in this next case, is a PNC loan, but it's an FHA loan, so there's different silos and different ways you go at this. The original payment on this one was actually $1,541. The new payment actually went up, which is surprising. It's $1,680. It was an increase of $139, or 9.02%. Their original interest rate, interestingly enough, was 4%. We got them into a 2%. So how did this go? They were 20 months behind. Well, they didn't give them a extension on the term under the FHA rules. So if they have 22 years left on the loan, then it's just amortized over the 22. Obviously, if you amortize over 40, it drops dramatically. But if they're only going to keep you at your existing amortization term, it doesn't. It's really income specific. They're aiming for an income percentage, generally about 31% of gross income. And then they're figuring, how do we get there from here?
Right.
So
but they're all caught up.
Correct.
And they have a good interest rate, which means more of their money's going to principal. So this is not a bad deal at all when you wrap it all together.
Right. In this case, this is what typically happens here is they had a bad stretch and they got behind because of unemployment, a separation, something happened bad a couple of years ago and they fell behind. And all they really, now they're back working again, everything, their income is back up. Where they really want is just to get back to even again, but the banks won't take their payments. So they have to find a way to get caught up. You can do that through a Chapter 13, or you can do that through a modification.
The modification is so much better, right?
Better option, correct.
Okay, our third case is with America's Servicing Company.
Yeah, ASC. Their payment was $5,851 a month.
Lordy.
The new one is $3,547, which is a reduction to $2,304, or 39.38%. They were originally in a 6.5%, and now they're in a 2% fix for the remaining term of the mortgage. They were 13 months behind at the time we got them this. So
and these people have stopped getting gray hairs too as a result of what was going on, because it's stressful, right? So a city mortgage case with an FHA HAMP.
Yeah, this is another FHA HAMP case, and it again has an increased payment. And I wanted to illustrate how this can happen. This was a $1,940 a month payment. The new one is $2,253. That's an increase of $312, or 16.1%. The original interest rate was 3.75, and now they're in a 2%. But again, they didn't extend the term, so the payment actually went up a little. But the people are happy with this because they are caught up again.
Right. They're caught up, and as you mentioned, they're back in a situation where that still represents a proper rate of their, or percentage of their income. So their payment isn't out of reach. It's just that they needed to get caught up.
And a lot of people don't want to be in another 40-year mortgage when they're already 8-10 years into their existing mortgage. They want to finish their what's remaining term. That's all they really want, and they're happy with this kind of an outcome. So I'm glad they are.
That's good to illustrate that, because there are lots of different solutions depending on what it was that caused you to get behind. So how can people learn if they're behind and, you know, no doubt very stressed about this? How do they find out if they qualify for this process and for some kind of modification?
Okay, well, we offer free consultations. So if you are being told you have to do a short sale or a deed in lieu, you've gone to other attorneys and they say there's nothing they can do, it's worth your time to give us a call. Again, it's free consultations. Let's take a look at it. Many of them have ulterior motives, so we give those free consultations. Just give us a call at 1-877-MEDIATION, or you can find us online at AdvantageLegalGroup.com, and we'll take a look at your case for free.
Good. Thank you so much. I know you've helped a lot of people, and we appreciate it. That is great news. Still ahead, fun activities and events for children and adults. Our pal Nancy Guppy drops by next.